Good. You are all welcome to day 5. Today, we'll be looking at how to buy, host, how to buy and host our domain, and also how to publish our websites to the internet. Web communication protocol. Web communication protocols. A web page is identified by a unique address called the URL. Each URL consists of two basic parts. The first part is called a protocol, while the second part is called the domain name. Hypertext transfer protocol, that is what HTTP means. HTTP manages the hypertext links that are used to navigate the web. When hosting your website, you have to understand what a host means. A host refers to a computer system that is being accessed by a remote computer. I'm going to explain this in detail shortly. A domain name is a unique address used for identifying a computer, such as a web server on the internet. An IP address, IP stands for Internet Protocol. It's another way to identify computers or devices connected to the internet. Now, going back to this, a host. Host refers to a computer system that is being accessed by a remote computer. So think host like a place where you put all your websites. All your websites is being stored in a host. So that host refers to a computer system. So all our websites are stored in a remote server. A domain name is a unique address used for identifying a computer, such as a web server on the internet. When we say domain is your website address. The website you have created now during this webinar, if you want people to see it on the internet, you need to just give it a unique address. So when they navigate to this address, this will publish the content of your website. But the domain can't stay alone without having a host. So in summary, all your website contents are stored in a host, on a host, while the address of your website is the domain name. IP address on this hand are series of digits that's linked to our domain name. Now, for instance, let's say my domain name is www.theladderbackdown.com. For the computer sees this as series of numbers, which is called IP address. So because we are human, we can't easily put in series of numbers in our head. So that is why you need to have a unique address for your website, which is called the domain name. This is an example of how a URL address looks like. The first part here is called the protocol. This is the domain name. www.google.com is a domain name. Then this file here is a directory. Then the index file is the file name which we have for the website. Let's say your website has a directory inside it there. This /f is the directory, while this /index is the file name. Then the first part here is the protocol. www.google.com is the domain name. Web hosting. The publication of the website for public access is called web hosting. When you host your website on the internet, that means you want public access to your web files. Now, internet service provider. Internet service provider, they provide access to the internet along with other types of services, such as email. You can think of ISP as people in Nigeria here. ISP, we have MTN, we have Airtel, we have different service provider in Nigeria. Then people are outside Nigeria, you have your own also, you have your service provider too, like Vodacom, Airtel, so ISP. So you need the ISP so that without internet, without ISP, without internet, we can't access our websites. A domain name is a unique address used for identifying a computer, such as a web server on the internet. Like I said earlier, the domain name is the address of your website. So 3 things are very, very crucial when building a website or when developing a website. You need a host, you need a domain name, and you need a built website that comprises of HTML documents, CSS documents, images, JavaScript codes, etc. Now, what do you need to know? What do you need to do? What do you need to know before getting a domain name registration? Firstly, you will pick a domain name that is similar to your business name or that describe your websites. For instance, let's say your business, your brand, your business name is let me use, for instance, I'm into website development. Then I say, okay, I can say buildyourwebsite.com is the name of my domain. So you pick a domain name that is similar to your business name or that describes your website. What you do. Now, if a domain name has already been used by someone else, you can never use it except you have to purchase it from the person. So you cannot use a domain name that is already in use or a trademarked name. Contact a domain name registrar to find out the availability of a domain name and register it. For a fee, domain names can be registered for a specified period of time. Most hosting sites provide registration service for you. I'll be showing us an example of how you can check your domain name availability on my browser now before I go to the next slide. So just a minute. So I'll be using Namecheap for an example here. Namecheap is the hosting company where you can host your websites on the internet. So with Namecheap, you can register with them or just check out if your domain name exists. For instance, let's check if the ladder backdown website is available or the ladder backdown domain. Let's say I want to use this domain. I want to check if it is available. So I'm just going to come here and search. So when I search, it tells me that so it's still loading for us if it's available or not. Since we have a problem, let's see. Okay, we have a chat. Okay, we have a chat here. Other background is taken. Hold on, yeah. Just want to confirm. So Mr. Jadon says it has been taken exactly. Other background.com has been taken. So now this one has been taken. Yes, it might want to get it from there. Now, if let's say, for instance, let me use Mr. Jadon for instance. Mr. Jadon, let's say you have a website that is called Jadon. You want to check if Jadon is available. So Jadon, you want the .com. So that this one is not available, is like is being used. So you can try other names like webinar 20, webinar 20. If the domain is not, so this also is not available too. Okay, this is available. See the price. If you like it, then you can just add to cart, then you purchase your credit card. After you must have finished purchasing your domain, next thing is what we need hosting. Hosting. So we have different kind of hosting on the internet. So hosting is where your website now lives. You think hosting as a garage where you park all your cars, Now, the label name for each car in your garage is now called the hosting. It's now called the domain name. So you can register your domain names for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and so on. So most hosting sites provider provides registration service for you. We have lots of hosting site provider. Namekeep is one of them. Then I think the ladder background also provides hosting at your word hosting also. They have their hosting. So if you want to get hosting from them, you can purchase hosting from them and get your domain, then link it to the hosting sites. Good. The main focus of this webinar is to show you how you can deploy your projects to GitHub. An intro to Git and GitHub tutorials for beginners. Git and GitHub are two technologies that every developer should learn, irrespective of their field. For a beginner developer, you might think that these two terms mean the same thing, but they are different. What is Git? Git is a version control system that lets you manage and keep track of your source code history. I'm going to explain this shortly. GitHub is a cloud-based hosting service that lets you manage Git repositories. Git is a version control system that lets you manage and keep track of your source code history. Now, why Git? Git will allow you, for instance, let's say you're developing your website or an application. You feel that the header of your application, the header of your website is not too good for you. You can decide to keep the original version of your header in your web app and continue to edit or make changes to header by just creating a copy of the header. So Git will allow you to do this. So even though you make mistake or you don't do mistake, the website will still be, the header will still be there while you make changes underneath. Then when you are done making changes in your website, you can then match you can then match the original with the clone version of the header that you are working on. When you match it together, then it changes. Even if you want to revert back, like you want to know how you want to track your code, how you've been working on it, you can track your code. Let's like the way we do undo and redo in our machine, the undo functionality and the redo functionality. You can do it here with Git, with your code. You can undo, let's say you create your code maybe last year. You can undo you can keep track of your code you can backtrack it to last year and your code will still run fine. That's what Git is doing for us. Now, GitHub, on the other hand, it manages the Git repositories. It manages your folders, your files on Git. And you can put your files on the internet with GitHub. So everybody can have access to it. You can make your website have a public access using GitHub because they provide hosting service to you. Now think GitHub like this. Let's say you are in your friend's house, at the weekend, and you remember that you remember a solution to your code that you've been writing over the week, and you are not with your laptop, you're not with your computer, you're not with your laptop. You can use your friend's laptop to make your changes immediately. Just log into your GitHub, download clone the file you want to work on. When you clone it, you can make changes. After cloning it, make changes, then you push it back to your GitHub again by using the git command. When you push it back, you commit changes and your code is working fine. Look at the stress. Look at the stress you would have gone through, or the time you would have wasted by just sitting down there, not going back to your laptop. So if you're not with your laptop, you can write your code anywhere you like. If you have your GitHub set, you can update your code, you can update your website anytime, anywhere you like. So it's a cloud-based hosting service. What is GitHub? GitHub is an online hosting service for Git repository. GitHub is a code hosting platform for collaboration and version control. GitHub lets you and others work together on a project. As I am here now, I and you over there can work on a project together using GitHub. I will write my code, push it to GitHub. You pull it out, write your own code, you push it back to GitHub. From here, we can collaborate together on a project using GitHub. GitHub also lets you store your repo on their platform. GitHub also gives you the ability to collaborate with other developers from any location, which I've just explained in my last slide. Just like now, how do you set up your GitHub account? How do you use GitHub? Getting started. So we are going to do this together. First thing you have to do here is what? Is to create a GitHub account. Create a GitHub account by going to github.com. I'm going to send you the link on the chat. So I will show you my browser screen now. Then we create our GitHub account together. So look at the URL on the chat. Now I will share my screen now, and let's do it together. Let's try to do it together by creating our GitHub account. So step 1, create a GitHub account. So I'm going to share my screen with you now. Now, can we all see my VS Code, my GitHub screen? Let's say yes on the chat if you can see my screen. I need a yes on the chat if you can see my screen. Can you all see my screen? Now, let's visit github.com in our browser. There's an option for sign in, sign up. So because we are new, we are going to sign up. And remember, This sign up will allow you, we request for your email address. So your email address is what is required for you to get a GitHub account. So you sign up. Now, you'll be prompted to enter your email. So I have my email, I have my GitHub account set already. So when you set up your email, like I have my own email set. Now enter your email. And when you enter your email, please continue. You should get the confirmation email in your inbox. Please, let's talk. Are we here? I have my GitHub account set already, so I'm not entering that now. Now, have you been able to create your accounts? Now, after you must have set up a GitHub account, you are going to create a repository. So I'm just going to log into my, so I'm going to log in since I already have my GitHub set. Request for my email. So request for an email. I'm just going to sign in. No, okay. It's asking me how many team members will be working with me. No, that's just a personal preference. Since you are the only one, that you can pick any number you like there. Just pick the number, then just you can skip it. You can even skip it. You can skip all those questions. Just So let's do it together. I'm going to use my other email. So I'm just come here and sign up and create my email. So just watch my screen. Fine, you are there. Now let's do it together. Let me create my email. This is my email. So I will continue. Then put the password. I'm just going to use name. I'm going to be using LD. Okay, the name is not available. So I'll pick another one again. Not available. Wow. I'm just going to use my other parts. Wow. Let me pick one. Okay. Wow, good. So create account. I've been sent a code by email. So I have the code here. Just going to type it. How many teams member will be working with? So just me, 50 plus. Are you a student? Are you a teacher? So I'm a teacher. Then so I'm just going to put probably 20 to 50. Just for instance, I can put just me. I can put this. So let me just put any name, anything, any value there. So you can actually edit that data, right? So all this, you don't need to just continue. Just continue then. Have this. Continue for free. For free. So I have the dashboard. So this is my dashboard. Congratulations if you have gotten to this point. So if you check the, you have to create new repository. Create new repository. So let's do that again. So you can see at the left-hand side of the screen, you have create new repository. So that's what you're going to click. Click repository. Repository means you are trying to create a folder. The name of the folder is a personal website. Are you with me? Personal website. Please let me know if you are getting to this point. Personal website. Can I get a yes? Create a repository. Thank you. Then name it personal websites. Thank you very much. I can get yes on the chat. Then don't worry about all the fields here. Just leave this as public. Then scroll down where you find create repository. You click on create repository. That means you have created your folder. So we're going to leave it like this and come back to this at the end of our, before the end of the webinar, where we can upload our files to the internet. What you can see here is you can send this code, you can upload this link here, you can actually use this code here inside your VS Code terminal. Or we create the new file manually or uploading existing file on our computer. So we will leave our browser like this. Please don't forget your password. You can write it down now. The password for your GitHub account. Don't forget it. You might still be needing it. So we'll pause here, and I'm going to show you what to do next when we get to the adding and committing files. Now, the webinar exercise is all about deploying the 3-page website to GitHub. So I'm going to pause here for our break. We are going to be having a 15-minute break at 12 p.m. Then by 12:15 p.m., we will be right back to our VS Code. Thank you, everyone.